Just keep on trying. Alright, let's see if we can't get the wiring harness kind of put in place and just kind of route some stuff around so that we can work on the relay box and where we're going to mount the ECU and everything. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Everyone's going to have a good time. So, you know, a lot of stuff going on here. Alright, we're going to start off just trying to put it over here. You know, all these wires are going to be coming over here to the relay box and everything. Relay fuse, box, panel, and majigger. This is going to come around and go down over to the starter. Purple wire over to the starter. Then this will be for your air conditioning. That's a high pressure switch. Here's a compressor. Or, yeah, I believe that's the, yeah. So those need to snake down here under the oil pan, or in front of the oil pan, really. I guess I don't have any wire cutters over here. That makes sense. Yeah. But these have a little tray that they go into over here with the main power wire going to the starter. Try to snake it through there. Easier said than done, though. It'd been nice if the engine harness was multiple pieces instead of all being one. It's a little easier on a fella, on a dude to do this. Do the do. Do the do do do. Do the do. You remember those 7-Up commercials? Make 7 up yours.
Make 7 up yours. Hey, make 7 up yours, man.
I remember wearing the shirt to school and getting in trouble for it. Either I got in trouble for it or my brother got in trouble. I can't remember now. It's been a few years. Slept since then. Made other poor life choices since then. Back up here. Look up here. These are your injector wires. They have strange clips. Okay. Well, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. You can't even see where we're getting. Bring it over here. We'll get this kind of situated a little better once we get to the point where we're putting all the, you know, remaining hoses and whatnot on. Alright, this is going to go down to the transmission. Yeah, that's the transmission plug. I took the range sensor off of here. Got your oxygen sensor over here too. That goes down there with the transmission. This is the oil pressure switch and a ground. It goes to the back of the block. Since we're running aftermarket gauges, we just put it where the factory one for the donor truck was at. Just on the back there. It doesn't hurt nothing. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be mighty fine. Seems like there's so much more wires whenever it's not actually on the vehicle. Goodness. Whenever you're taping up your wire and replacing the loom, it's a good idea to keep, like, I'll get these Velcro strips, or you can use zip ties and just zip tie it kind of loosely, but try to keep the shape of it. It helps you a lot whenever you're trying to put everything back the way it was. There, okay. Those are hooked up. This is a low pressure switch. Here's your oxygen sensor. Those need to go back down. You got your knock sensor harness here. It goes to this one there. This ground goes down to the block. And then way down in there, you have your cam position sensor. Okay, well that's that part. Nothing to it really. When we go start to do the relays and everything, that'll be the fun part. But at least I can kind of go over what wires you actually need and don't need for from the old truck to the new truck to the new engine stuff. I'm gonna just put a couple of the little ringy things that hold the wires down on there and get those locked in, and then we will start working on relays and fuses. So trying to figure out where I'm going to put the ECU and all that stuff. So I got this battery box. I got it from LMC. It's for the diesel trucks, so it's you know, for a dual battery or for driver's side battery. But anyway, it's pretty neat that the factory dimpled the wheel wells where you needed to bolt this in, so that's cool. Anyway, it lines up right there, so we'll just hit that with the whole unibit. It makes it a lot easier sometimes whenever you're not having to drill a precise tap hole or something like that. clean it out from the bottom. Yep. Gotta kind of, you know, manipulate the piece a little bit to make it fit perfect. They're 5/16 threads. Man, that's sharp, whatever that was. That didn't feel very good. There's paint in the thread, so I chased them a minute ago on with a tap, you know. Oh gosh, what am I doing? I'm tired of that. Whatever that is getting snipped off. Okay, a couple slits on my arm today. Some lock washers on there. Put some lock washers on it. Yeah, I like the idea of relocating the battery to the other side just because it opens. You can use your old battery box for the air box. Old battery tray, I'm sorry. You can use the old battery tray for the air box. Wow. Alright, landed on my shoe. What are the chances of that? Smart thinking, General Motors. I'll give you some credit for today. I don't have anything against GM. I just like to talk crap about it. If I was working on a Ford, I'd be bitching about something they were doing too. Just gotta keep it lighthearted. Super exciting stuff. Alright, I'm gonna kind of fiddle around, see if I can't figure out how I'm gonna do the ECU mount. So once we get that figured out, we'll bring it back over here because that's kind of, I need to get that in its position so I can get the connectors where they need to go. So, all right, we'll bring you back in for that in a little bit. All right, so building the ECM mount. Probably kind of like this original sticker. I know it's got the little plastic peeling off, and I like the jack being where it's at. So I'm trying to get creative with where I'm going to mount the relays. See about right here. Those wires can go up under there, but need to build a brace to go from here because we don't weebly wobbly. Put the old magnetic based angle finder on there. See, we're about 78-ish degrees, so I'm going to put a piece of flat on the back. So let's think about this for a minute. Well, we want that at 90 degrees. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so I'm going to set that and we'll just come off of this and have it at 90 degrees. You following? Alright, see if we can't get this done. I don't know a better way to make this like this, so we just got it clamped in there and there. And then I'm gonna put this vice strips under here just as a kind of little ledge for me to hold the piece onto. About like that. We'll be glad when I don't have so much crap everywhere. Alright, this right now is a 68-degree angle, and it's gonna sit at 78 degrees. So we need to take 10, 12, add 12 to 68. So we need to get to 80 degrees. And that'll be roughly about what we want. It's probably not the most precise way of doing this. I'm not a fabricator, so don't judge me. This isn't put in fab shop. We're just gonna tack it, and then we can probably bend it where we want it. Before I did that, that would have made sense. I don't do things that make sense. All right, those aren't very good tacks, were they? All right, let's see what that looks like. Boy, that's way more than the angle I wanted, isn't it? I don't know if it'll work, but we'll try it. I love when you start welding something and you smell hair burning. That ought to work. Just put us a whole rib nut up there. It'll get the job done. That's the important thing. The reality of doing your own harness. Man, what a mess. It's like some kind of monster ate a bunch of colored spaghetti and puked it all over the frickin' engine bay. Like, what the fuck? So I'll give you, it'll help me to remember what I'm doing, I think, because you know how that struggle is. So this is the wire that I'm using coming from the low pressure switch for your air conditioner, okay? That low pressure switch gets its trigger from the switch inside of the cab, your AC controls, all right? Got that one. And then this is going to our gauge cluster. Coolant temperature sensor. Oil pressure, right there, going on the gauge cluster. This pink wire here, this is the one that would normally run to like your HEI. So that one's a constant. Turn the key, and, like in a run and start position, it's got hot. So that's what you want going to this yellow wire, I believe. Yeah, yellow and black wire coming from our relay box. Oh yeah, I got the relay box mounted and I got the ECU mounted. I don't know if I can do it, but I might try to build some kind of cover or see if they make a cover. I know it's a little close to the lines on the brakes, but you know, you gotta work with what you got. So that's what we got. So that's what we're working with. That pink wire goes to this yellow wire here. That's a trigger wire. Originally that would go to, like I said, your HEI. I believe it's going to this one. That should be, that sounds right. Yeah, that sounds like I know what I'm talking about. Maybe. Oh no, this one here, 12 volt switch. Yep. This one goes to the purple wire. That one's coming. That one's going to connect to this one. Back in the day, whenever everything was just ran off of the ignition, they didn't have relays. Look at the damn gauge wire they use, man. Woo. So those two guys are going to get together, okay? And then coming from our relay, we got another purple wire. Now I've already got the wire ran going over to the starter solenoid, so this one's just going to tie into that one. That's coming from the relay to tie into that one, okay? Purple on purple. This is a current performance relay. I don't know if relay and fuse panel. I don't know if I said that before. This is going to fan number 1. Fan number 2. Those are going to be triggered by coolant temperature sensor in the head over here. I got to put the one on the passenger side for the gauge sender, the sending unit for the gauge. Okay. Those will be triggered, you know, by temperature, or they should, if I got it figured out correctly. Whenever we turn the air condition on, it should turn those on. One of them on. It'll turn one of them on. Let's see what else we got. This is the part that confuses me the most. For whatever reason, I've gone over it 1,000 times. I've ohmed out the wires and I'm like, okay, I got it figured out. Okay. Well, this is gonna be for your air conditioning. I got the AC on a relay here, okay? So I'm gonna have a high pressure switch and a low pressure switch there, okay? The low pressure is gonna be the factory one that's mounted to your dryer over here. And then the high pressure one's on the back of the LS AC compressor. So we got the wires that run over the compressor right here. Here's the deal. That wire we were talking about earlier, that green one, that's gonna come from the low pressure switch, okay? That in turn will go to, okay, this one right here. It's gonna go to that one. That blue wire right there goes to the green wire, they're coming from the truck, right? And that blue wire runs over here to the high pressure switch plug. I guess it opens the circuit so that it'll come back out of this green wire, okay? The green wire with a white strap, all right? That is gonna be, okay, this one is the one, okay. That's the one that's gonna come from your high pressure switch. It took me a minute to figure that out. That'll come to from your high pressure switch, and that's gonna go to, I think I wrote it on here, light blue and white wire coming from the relay, okay? And in turn, see, AC request, that's telling, okay, turn the AC on, we're good on pressure. All right, we're turning it on. Then it's gonna come out, and this is the one that runs back to the AC clutch. So that's gonna connect to that one. Those two are gonna get married, and they're gonna be happy, and they're gonna live happily ever after. And in theory, theoretically, that should get us an AC compressor to turn on once it's fully charged and all that happy horse shit. All right, the fans, they're pretty simple. I mean, you got a fan 1 relay control. That's coming from the ECM. That's going to go to fan request wire or whatever, whichever one says fan request. Fan 1, yeah, so fan 1, that's the one that you're going to go to. Fan 1 on there. That's pretty self-explanatory. Pretty easy, but I just want to kind of give you a breakdown. These wires are going to run to, they originally ran to the alternator and somewhere else. I don't know. Hell. They just need to be hot. That's all they need. They just want 12 volts all the time. So that's what they're gonna get, is 12 volts all the time. Okay. Those are gonna be ran to the battery, or I guess I could run with the alternator. Probably just run to the battery. It'd be nice to have a junction box for the battery, so I may try to figure something out for that, you know. Maybe put them on like a high amp fuse or something like that. Anyway, that's just a little, try to explain as much as I can before I get it all wired up, because this has probably been the most tasking part, because I'm okay at wiring stuff, but I'm not like, I don't have a real strong memory for remembering, okay, that wire, that's what that one's supposed to, I don't know why, I just can't, it just doesn't drill into my head. So explaining it out loud, maybe this will help me remember it, and maybe it'll help you guys, you know. Obviously, whenever you go to do your vehicle, you're going to have different color wires and all that stuff, but these are all just going to the gauge cluster and stuff like that, and the OBD2 port, and I'll go over that whenever I go to hook it up to the OBD2 port, data link connector, yada yada. Just take your time. I mean, and if you don't have time to build a harness or whatever, you know, a lot of people say you can use the Chinese ones, or the eBay ones from China, you know. I don't like the idea of doing that just because I don't like the idea of using cheap wire for something like this. I'd hate for to get all running and everything, and then say going down the road a wire shorts out or something. Now they're straining on the side of the road because, you know, the connectors aren't as good a quality from what I understand. So you can spend money on, you know, a BP harness or current performance, yeah, current performance. This is good quality TXL automotive grade wire, so they have good quality stuff. It's made in the United States. I'm cool with that, you know. I hadn't decided yet. Whenever I do our Suburban next, I may just buy a harness. I don't know. I just wanted to, since this was my first swap, it's really helped me understand a lot of how the ECM controls stuff, and that's pretty beneficial. And I think that anyone doing their first swap, I think, go for it. Buy you a relay, fuse and relay box that was like $120 or something. They make ones that are sealed. Actually, Current Performance makes one that's sealed, and I just didn't realize that whenever I ordered this. I'm not sure if it has all of the same relays in it though. It may not have all the same controls. I think anyone who's doing their first swap, this is a really good way to understand how it all works. And if I can help someone going down the road, I take notes and stuff like that. So if anyone has any questions that I could answer, or if they have any suggestions, go down there and, you know, hit me up in the comments or whatever. Just get out there and do it. That's all you can do. We'll get back to it here in a little bit after I get this kind of bundled up and get things cleaned up, start terminating ends and stuff like that. All right, so we got the wiring pretty much buttoned up and stuff like that. I just, you know, I'm gonna loom it and all that stuff still, but just kind of show you the bundle. That mess of wires turns into a trunk of messy wires. Is really what it amounts to. It isn't the worst. This is just a spare one we have left, so I'll put a heat shrink over that in case we need something to come off the battery. I got it all ran over here and to the bulkhead connector, and then I'm gonna loom the rest of this stuff, clean this up. I need to get some new vacuum hose. Dang it, I gotta quit forgetting that. I need to, I just put the AC compressor on. I need to put plugs in, then put the plug wires on. I need to hook up the coolant temperature sensor. I need to put it in the side of the head here. So the one for the classic instrument gauges will go. Then I need to hook up the wires going to the transmission. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get all of this buttoned up, and then I'll go back under the truck and get it kind of finalized under the truck. I need to still hook up the fuel pump wire and fuel sending wire, and there's some other stuff I'm just forgetting. Make lists. Be smarter than me. Make lists. But anyway, I'm gonna plug wires on, start putting accessories back on, alternator, all that stuff, get all the grounds tight. I'll probably make a couple grounds and just go from the block to the chassis, just like from over here, wherever I can find a, you know, not used bolt or something. It looks like there was a ground there before, so maybe I'll jump off of this ground that goes down to there, and I'll run one of the chassis on this side and probably do another one over here somewhere. Attempt to. You can never have enough grounds, that's for sure. So yeah, we'll see if we can't get some of this stuff knocked out, and then kind of just keep following along. All right, here's a little update on the wiring harness. I'm feeling brave, you know. I feel very confident in my wiring abilities, apparently, because I just went ahead and loomed all of it up. That's usually the right thing to do. I mean, why wouldn't you do that? Haven't tested any of this, but I know it's good. I know it's gonna be real nice, Clark.
Really nice.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
No. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Anyway, yeah, got it loomed up and everything. I need to get some more of these kinds of clips and stuff so I can get something to hold it in place. This is my first time doing this kind of loom and stuff like this. I mean, it looks okay. Some of it'll be covered up and stuff. It looks better than this old plastic loom. Just protruding. It's whatever. Just stick it out of there. You don't need to keep it from coming out. This is where we're at, and we got a few wires left. These ones that are going to the battery, and then these are grounds, and then 2 fan hots. This goes AC compressor. This goes to the battery. It mounts over here. This think this loom hangs out in that. Yeah, that's where that goes. I didn't even get to, I put one spark plug in, then I was like, well, I gotta put the temperature sensor on, so I went ahead and put that on, and then got sidetracked again. So yeah, we're gonna, you know, just knock her down a little bit at a time. Tomorrow we'll put the accessories on, maybe start putting core support back on, get the clip put back on the front, you know, your grill and all that stuff, so I can start getting the radiator back in place and fill it with coolant, make sure we don't have any leaks, and then we'll set up the electric fans and get those wired in. It's just not real interesting stuff. I don't know if anybody wants to watch someone sit here and play with wires all day, because that's about like watching paint dry. So hopefully I'll get you a little bit better content tomorrow. All right, thanks.